Hi folks, I've come up with a bit of an idea to make a simple bird box which hopefully will last longer and is easier to make than some of the wooden affairs you get. Now, I had some 4-inch sewer pipe which actually I found in a skip, a bit of a skip dipper as you guys know. Excuse me. So I thought, what can I do with this pipe? And then I come up with an idea, we could turn it into a bird box, a simple bird nesting box. So I've cut, this is about an 8-inch length here. It was about 2 meters long, so I can make a few of them out of it. And I come up with an 8-inch size, so that gives a bit of movement inside the box. All I've done, I seal the bottom up. I got some plywood lying about, so I've cut some circles slightly, well, it's the same diameter as the internal diameter of the pipe, and that just taps inside there. I've put 4 screws holding it in place. I've also drilled a drainage hole in there just in case, you know, lets any water out, but hopefully the water, a bit of water might drive in through the hole, so that it'll drain out the bottom, plus the sides aren't completely sealed, so water would drain out. It's pretty well sealed, so it won't be too drafty, but once the nesting material that the birds put in there, it should be quite snug. So I've drilled a hole. This is maybe slightly too big, although it's all right for great tits and things like that, and you can put whatever size hole in you want. I've got to get some different drill bits actually. I think that hole's about 32 millimeters. So tree sparrows and great tits, coal tits, I suppose even blue tits will go in there. So yeah, that's that bit of it. To hang it up, you just drill a couple of holes like that, and 2 on the opposite side. I thread a bit of fencing wire through. I might use thicker wire on the next one. This is just a bit of a prototype, but I just basically had a few hours on a Sunday afternoon. I thought, oh, I'm a bit of a restless person, so I can never sit down for more than about half an hour without wanting to do something. So I just had what was at hand, so I might use a bit of thicker wire, but I think that's probably all right. Anyway, and then the lid is really simple. Another circular piece of ply, which is somewhat smaller than that, so it just kind of, and then, yeah, so it sort of sits inside like that. Then on top of that, I've screwed a piece of 6x1 board. These were these scraps of wood. I've made this out of scraps of wood, really, that I had lying about. 4 screws holding that on there like that. Then that literally just sits on top of there like that. I mean, if you really want to be careful, you can cut a bit of a curve on the top, so you've got I've got a bit of a slant. That was more by chance and design, because I never be able to seem to cut this pipe dead straight. I always seem to deviate, but that's worked out all right because there's a bit of a slope on it, sloping backwards. And then you can just secure it with a couple of screws, just 2, really, one there and one on the opposite side. Just nips through, drill a hole and put a couple of screws in. That holds the lid on. But what's really great is at the end of the nesting season, you can take the nesting boxes down, undo those 2 screws, whip the lid off, clean it out if it's been used, and hopefully it will be, and then put it back on again, screw it back on and hang it back up wherever. I mean, you could I'm thinking of putting a rank of these up for the house sparrows, although so far my house sparrows have been very ungrateful on the offerings I've given them. I've got a variety of bird boxes in my garden. The sparrows generally ignore them at the moment, but maybe they'll do it at some point. I mean, you can paint this if you want with some sort of wildlife friendly paint. This one's in a bit, it's obviously the orange, natural orange colour. I know some of you might say, well, this isn't the UV resistant one, but you get this is the below ground orange pipe. The grey pipe is the above ground pipe, and the orange is what you're meant to bury. Some people say, well, yeah, it's got UV will break it down, but I mean, I've had pipeline around the garden for donkey's years and it hasn't broken down, so I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe someone can comment. That's about it really. I mean, obviously vary the size of the hole depending on the birds you want. Obviously maybe people in different countries might be watching this, so you might have all different sorts of birds. I say if you've got bigger, you can get, I mean there's no limit to the size of pipe. I mean you get gas pipe, all different sorts of pipes in different countries. In Britain we have the yellow gas pipe, which is quite a bit bigger. I think it's like, that's like 8 or 9 inches across, I think. I'm not sure, but it's thick bodied stuff. But you could use that, I suppose. It just say if you haven't got time or the tools to cut angles and faff about like that, this seemed like quite a good idea. What I'm going to do with the lid to make it a little bit more waterproof, I've got this bitumen paint, which is quite good stuff, and I don't think it does any harm to wildlife once it's dried. I'm just going to paint the lid with black bitumen paint. If you want, you could put felt on it or plastic or whatever you want really, or just leave it plain and paint it with a wildlife friendly waterproofer. But if it rots, it's no big deal, you just make a new one. So it should last, I reckon it'll last a few years. I'm quite pleased with it anyway, and I can't see any drawbacks with it totally. Obviously make sure the holes are a sensible size, so the back, a sensible height from the floor so the birds can get out once they've fledged. I think it should be good. I mean, if anyone's got any ideas or commentary, then please let me know. As you could put a little stand on there, or something like a little bolt sticking out for the birds to perch on. But my intention is probably to hang it in a tree, and then I might make a few and put them on a rank of them, maybe 4 in a row for the sparrows, because they like they're communal nesters. So maybe if I put 4 in a row, it might attract some of my local house sparrows. But that's it really. That's it for now. Hope you enjoy the video. Keep your comments coming. Keep them nice and polite, which I know you always do anyway. But yeah, over and out for now. Oh, and a belated Happy New Year to everyone. And yeah, get out and make bird boxes. I know it's sort of middle of January now, but it all depends what country you're in and what have you. But in England, I'm in Somerset, and the weather's starting to, it's quite mild at the moment. I see quite a bit of bird activity. So this is a great time to get out there. If you've got existing bird boxes, clean them out, make sure they're all ready to go, or make some bird boxes. That's great. Make bird boxes, put them up in your garden or your wildlife park or wherever, and make them for your neighbour, make it for anyone. Just get them up there and get those birds happy, get them to, you know, get the nest boxes up. They could do with a bit of a helping hand. Anyway, there we go. I've got verbal diarrhea, haven't I? Over and out, and catch you guys later. Bye.